Chris?
I mean, Peter, just kind of recap the emotions of those final 5 minutes there.
Honestly, the way I would say it is that, it was completely two different games from one half to the other. First half we were non-committal. We were playing backwards the whole time. We allowed them to kind of dictate the tempo of the game. And second half, we pushed the game. We took it to another level. We dictated the tempo, and we played forward. And the opportunities all were created because of our mentality to go forward, mentality to get in the box, and our ability to. And we can finish. We can play through teams if we want to. But it was a mentality. It was an attitude. It was an aggressive mindset. And that was the difference between the two halves, and it was a difference in the game. I think when we play with that kind of intensity in a game, I think we're a hard team to play against. Yeah.
With Shelton and Rubio, and obviously you got two guys that I'm sure would prefer to be in the starting lineup, but what do you make of them, just keeping their heads down and then making the most opportunity off the bench there?
Well, look, both guys were injured, right? So I have to be smart about how I bring those guys back and in to the team, and what kind of minutes I can manage with players, because as you guys know, I only get 3 subs, and so I think as a staff, I think we managed those subs really well. But I also think, look, I think, and I say this all the time, I think the culture of this club is very strong, and I love the fact that the mentality of the guys is directly aligned with the culture of the club, because they understand that they're going to get their opportunity, and at the end of the day, if they're upset with me because I didn't start them or I'm not playing them, I'm okay with that. I can handle it all day. But at the end of the day, when those guys walk inside those white lines, it's that group of guys. It's not me in there, it's them. And they got to fight for each other, and they should never be disrespectful to each other, and those guys aren't, and I appreciate that very much.
Did you sense the pickup in aggressiveness from the start of the second half? Was there a particular point, like when, say, Daniel scored his goal, or?
When I was done talking to the team in the locker room at halftime.
Really?
Yeah. I knew that we were going to go. I knew it. I knew that we were going to go, and my belief was that if we got the first goal, there was no doubt we would get the second one, and then there was a chance that we could get a third one. And they got it. But I knew the game in the second half had nothing to do with tactics. It had everything to do with an aggressive mindset to go at the other team and dictate the tempo. Well, and the funny thing too is that the referee actually changed his way of managing the game and the tempo of the game because how fast we were playing, and he could see such a significant difference between the two teams that we actually, I believe, changed even his mindset.
What was the halftime message to them?
I think you can figure that out. Really.
Hey, what?
Yeah.
What happened with? The situation with Ike and the mistakes. Is that just something in the first half? That's something you just chalk up to just individual mistakes in that moment, or is that an unfamiliarity thing?
No. That's an individual mistake. Look, I understand that those things are going to happen sometimes, and they do. The important thing is our reaction as a team, and I think that our reaction as a team, I can't even say that it was because of what happened with Ike. I just don't think in the first half anyone had the right mentality. I think in the second half, everybody had the right mentality, which was the difference.
Peter, we were told after the Kyrie goal, that's 8 goals by players off the bench this year, which is a team record. Can you just talk about what it means to have that kind of firepower coming off the bench and available to you?
Well, it's something that we worked on in the off season, that we wanted to make sure that we had more in our team off the bench. We were able to bring players in that could change the outcome of the game by their impact. It's one thing to go inside and get those guys, another thing for those guys to go and do it. And it's a credit to both. It's a credit to staff for finding guys that we think can do it, and at the same time, it's a credit to those guys for actually doing it, because it doesn't always happen that way.
Peter, I don't know if you're up in the stat, but Shawnee has scored in 3 of the last 5, 4 of the last 8, 5 of the last 9, I believe it is. What can you say about his performance in the last last month and a half?
I would go all the way back to when he started here in the academy. He's had a very good progression. He's had some really good learning moments that maybe weren't the easiest for him. And then at the same time, and I say this to him all the time now, is one of the reasons why he is doing as well as he is, and why he is in good form, and why he is getting better from game to game, week to week, is because of his attitude. There's so much that you can do when you have a good attitude in anything you do in life, and he has the right attitude at the moment. And if he keeps that, his trajectory is it's straight up.
What did you see from Graham Smith tonight in his first start? And then we were told it was coach's decision to go with him over Moore, so could you just speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, my decision was more based on, you even see with Kuzain as well. With a lot of guys, I've got to be careful. When you don't play regularly and you play a lot of games, I got to be careful that psychologically they're not getting overwhelmed when they play a lot of games in a row. Because what happens is that you think it's a physical aspect that they get tired from, but a lot of times it's the mental. And to bring a guy out and give him a chance to, have a chance to watch the game, it helps a lot. He's been playing really well, and I thought he did an excellent job tonight. I really, really do. I think that he was good on the ball. He was calm in the game. When I told him he was going to play, he responded really well. He wasn't shaken. Sometimes guys get that way. At the same time, he listened to what we had to say, not only last couple days, but even in game. Hey, do this, do that, and he was quick to put it into his, into his repertoire, and it worked really well. So I give him a lot of credit. It was a big moment for him. It was a big game for him to play in, to be his first debut, and to get that kind of result was really good.
What was it? Moore not being the
Yeah, that's right. Psychological. I wanted to rest him.
Peter, I don't know if you saw, but Ilie Sanchez made a 30-yard run when Daniel got dumped in the corner here late in the game. And to see his teammate was all right. Can you speak a little bit to Ilie's growth as a leader on this team?
I've told him this. I've said to him, I've said, look, you have to start taking responsibility on the field. You have to be a little bit of a field general, because this is me talking to him, right? I say, because you read the game well. You see what the game needs at times, but it doesn't matter if you're not vocal about it. You have to assist and help people. And I have to say that he's responded really well to that. He's done a good job, and when you do that and you get results like you did tonight, you start to get confidence and you start to do it more, and that's a good thing, and we need that on the field.
Anything else?
Guys, relax.
Coach, you gave up two goals, but at the very end of the game, Tim Ely comes up huge again, stands up big, it's patient. That could have changed the game easily for you. Just your thoughts on Tim being clutch every game for you?
Yeah, I always say that I was lucky to be a part of this when I was here in 2000. Tony Meola had the year of his life, if you will, as a soccer player, as his career. And it was always one of these things where we had a really good defense, but each game, not every game, but there was always some time where he didn't have anything going on, and all of a sudden he had to make one save to keep us in there, whether it was keep a shutout, or then it was shutouts, we had so many, but we shut out, or keep us tied, or even just to win the game. And so you need a keeper like that. The great thing about Tim is that when he's in games where he is in those situations where he doesn't have to think a lot, his instincts are really, really good. So it's what I'll say is it's what we expect, right? But it doesn't always happen, and he's been very good and very consistent at it.
not to be a downer here, I know you've been successful off the bench and second half was obviously successful. Are you at all concerned with the slow start and the way they are a bit reactionary to begin with?
I'm not concerned. I'm more angry than anything else because we know that this league, doesn't matter who you play, the effort and the intensity has to be there. And so the lack of that, and making that mistake of not doing it in the first half and putting yourselves 2 goals behind, you can't come back like this every time, right? And so hopefully this winds up being a great learning lesson for us going forward. Because these were 3 big points for us tonight, especially with Dallas still having a game in hand, us now going up 3, and then losing today. You know, all that helps big time. So, okay, thanks.
Thank you.